Alright guys, so what we got is a Terex reach forklift. It's got some, I believe it's 13 or 1424 is one of the two. And supposedly they got a hole somewhere in the shoulder side or something. We're gonna find out, but they want to see if we can get it up and rolling for today till we get a tire on it tomorrow. And it's kind of like a little emergency thing, so let's see what we can do. So we didn't get to fix the tire. I'm gonna kind of tell you what happened. Is customer calls up and they said that the tire had a hole in the sidewall by the shoulder. It's a small hole. They were hoping I can fix the tire to get them up and rolling for the day till we get a tire ordered or whatever. And so I came out as quick as I could. What I did was I chalked the forklift because it was kind of sitting on an incline, and I got my jack plate and my block up under the machine. And what I was gonna do was, as soon as I aired it up, I would just stick the jack up under it. So I was having everything prepared, ready to go. And once I shot air to it, at least I could see where it was at, and it was a big split in the sidewall. So too big to fix, plus it was next to another split which would have been too dangerous to put together. I mean repair, because you just get a potential blowout or something. You don't need that when somebody's got this forklift stretched all the way out, whatever, catastrophe can happen. So gave him the bad news that we had to get a tire, so hopefully we'll be back in the AM to put a tire on. Hey guys, what's going on? So today is a new day and we are back with this Terex forklift. Got a new tire to put on, 1424. Let's see if we can do this, get it out of here. Alright guys, so I just got done mounting the tire. Must say it wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be. I mean, it ain't always going to be easy, but it gave me a little fight, but got it done. So what we did, we've actually moved the machine close to a water hose. I'm going to go ahead and jack this thing back up, put water in it, and we will be all set. Alright guys, so I just wrapped up the service call. Wasn't able to record it, so I'm just gonna kind of let you know what I did. You know, how much water you put in the tire depends on the application of the tire. I mean, there's a lot of factors. This one, we were doing about 3/4 of the way full. And the way I determine how much water's in it is basically I make sure that they roll the machine or I move it, whatever, where the valve stem is about 3/4 of kind of like an imaginary line across. So, you know, if it's on the more towards the right, it's going to be more like the 1 to 2 o'clock position. On the other side, you know, it'll be more like 11, somewhere in there. And you just imaginary line across it, and I'll put a jack up under it, get the weight off the machine, let the air out. This was a new tire, so I knew that if I let all the air out, you know, the beads would collapse because they haven't been really seated. So I take out just enough where the air's still in the tire and everything's seated, and you know, I just hook up the water fill adapter and just let it go. The tire is small enough that you can fill it all the way up to what you need without having to take some of the air out. You know, a lot of guys think you need to let the air out. On the big stuff, yes. On this, not really, because it'll be full before, you know, before you have to let any air out, should I say. So I got, you know, the valve stem at that 3/4 position, just let the water crank. And the way you can kind of tell when it's full is if it's quiet, unlike that that job site, it wasn't quiet, but if it's quiet, you can kind of hear the stream of water hitting the inside of the tire, so you'll kind of, you know the difference. Or you can bump the tire starting from the bottom and you'll kind of get like this solid bump out of it. Or what I like to do is I usually put my hand on the back and you can feel the stream of water coming out. And then when it's full, like, you can actually pinch the hose and push the little air relief valve on the water adapter, and you can see if air is still coming out of water. You know, it's not that hard to do. And once you got it about full, you know, shut the water off. I take the water adapter off and put the valve insert back in, and then I just air the tire back up to what it would normally be. So I aired that up, good to go. There's guys, they put less air, and you know, there's a little discrepancy there, but I've always been taught put the same amount of air pressure that the tire takes. So, you know, if you're running 30 pounds, fill up with water, 30 pounds, it's not gonna make no big difference. Now, you wanna make sure you have a water gauge, so that way you don't, like an air gauge but for water. You don't want a regular air gauge because it can damage your regular gauge. If you don't have one, you want to just kind of put the valve stem dead up at the top